Fellas, welcome to Man Up Mindset. And this is where we redefine what it means to be a man in today's world. As men, we've been taught for too long that bottling up emotions and never showing vulnerability is a sign of strength. But let's be real. True strength comes from facing your emotions, understanding them, and using them to grow. This community is all about building resilience, facing life's challenges head on, and understanding that growth doesn't come from being unbreakable, but being adaptable. I'm going to be starting all these lessons with a quote. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. So, why a growth mindset matters for us today. For men, especially in American culture, there's this unspoken rule that you should not show weakness. Society often tells us that we need to handle everything on our own and be emotionally stoic, but that mindset often leaves us struggling, isolated, and disconnected from ourselves. If you believe your intelligence, abilities, or emotional resilience are fixed, you'll avoid situations that test you, whether it's a tough conversation, pushing for promotion, or even working on your own mental health. But with a growth mindset, you realize that facing challenges is actually where growth happens, hence the name growth mindset. You stop seeing setbacks as reasons to quit and start seeing them as opportunities to get better. And this is especially important for men who are trying to redefine what strength really means in today's world. Strength isn't pretending that you don't have emotions. Strength is knowing how to process and use those emotions to drive you forward. So now let's break down what exactly is a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. This concept, first developed by psychologist Carol Dweck, contrasts with a fixed mindset, which assumes that our character, intelligence, and abilities are static and unchangeable, hence fixed. Some key aspects of a growth mindset include embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, persisting in the face of setbacks, which is knowing that failure is a part of the learning process, viewing effort as a path to mastery rather than something to be avoided, learning from criticism and feedback instead of taking it personally, and finding inspiration in the success of others rather than being threatened by it. A growth mindset fosters continuous improvement, adaptability, and resilience. However, a fixed mindset sets us up for failure by creating fear around challenges and preventing growth. So we talked about the difference. Now the question is, obviously, if you're part of this community, if you're listening to this, you want to grow, you want to improve, you want to do better. So how do you develop a growth mindset? Here's some strategies for cultivating a growth mindset. First, you have to reframe challenges. Look at difficult situations as opportunities for growth, not threats to your competence. So anytime we're faced with a new opportunity, sometimes it's honestly best to just try to learn, ask questions, and listen versus pretending that we have all the answers. Next, embracing the power of yet. This one is one of my favorite ones. Instead of saying, I can't do this, add yet to the end of the sentence. So it's I can't do this yet, which is opening the door for future mastery. If you're facing something difficult or a task, or someone's asking you to talk about your emotions, don't say I can't do this or I'm not capable of doing that. That's not the way I'm wired. Just say I can't do this yet, as in you're always learning, you're always growing. Celebrate effort and progress. Focus on the process of learning and improving, not just the final result. Take the small wins. And then seek out challenges. Deliberately push yourself outside of your comfort zone to simulate growth and progress. We do this when it comes to playing sports, going to the gym, or physical activity, but when it comes to something that's mentally stimulating, we do not always challenge ourselves. I would say that if you're not accustomed to reading or you don't like reading and you used to just like listening to audiobooks and that's how you learn, pick up a damn book, go to the library and try to learn something that way. That's how we develop the growth mindset, but it's a two-way street. We have to develop the growth mindset while also overcoming the fixed mindset. The first step is you have to recognize your fixed mindset triggers. You need to pay attention to moments when you feel defensive, avoid criticism, or compare yourself to others. These are signs that a fixed mindset is taking hold. We all know those things that really get underneath our skin that makes us kind of put up those walls and we just immediately stop right there. Talk back to your fixed mindset. Use growth-oriented self-talk to challenge those limited beliefs. Remind yourself that every setback is an opportunity for growth. I personally rarely listen to music in the car. Nowadays, when I'm driving, I'm literally just talking to myself, like actually literally having a conversation with myself. I'm sure if you're like driving by on the road, it looks like I'm on the phone, but I'm not. I'm legit just having conversations and I'm just talking back to that little voice in my head. Because that little voice in your head is not your voice. That's society's voice. That's our parents. That's our friends. That's all the experiences we've had for however many years you've been alive. And those are the, like, that's the influence and that's all those little tiny voices that you hear, but it's not your actual voice. So you need to talk back to that shit and shut that shit down. And then lastly, take growth minded actions. Even when you feel stuck or fearful, act as if you're already operating with a growth mindset. Over time, these actions will shift your mindset. It sounds silly, but just like how you do this for your professional life, you can actually create a personal learning plan for your personal life. So you can assess your current situation, see where are your strengths and where you need to grow, identify gaps, what areas need improvement to reach your career or personal goals, set SMART goals. So just like how you do for work, set those personally, right? Like, so what are the things that you want to achieve this year? Like set time boxes, make sure they're relevant, and then make sure they're specific. Schedule regular learning time. Consistency is key. Set aside dedicated time each week for personal development. It could be on your car ride, find a nice YouTube channel or a podcast like Andrew Huberman. That is honestly amazing. There's so many good ones out there. Comment honestly in the community, and I can send you some that I personally watch every single day. Review and adjust your plan. Important, right? You have to make sure that things are changing, especially as you're growing and developing, or life kind of throws some curveballs at you. So reassess your goals and adjust your learning plan regularly to stay on track. As men, we carry a lot of expectations, whether it's in our careers, our relationships, or even our self-worth. There's pressure and it can honestly feel overwhelming. So that idea that we have to have it all figured out and that we can't stumble or struggle, that shit's outdated. The reality is the most successful men are the ones who are constantly growing, learning, and evolving. A growth mindset gives us the tools to do just that. It allows us to embrace failure, face tough conversations, and continuously improve. Not for anyone else, but honestly for ourselves. True strength is about how you deal with life's tough moments, and that starts with how you see challenges. Thanks for joining us for today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. There is a assessment quiz to kind of figure out whether you're a fixed or growth mindset and kind of how far along the scale. So just make sure you click on that link below, take the quiz, and then post your results below. Love to hear from you. Have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thanks again for joining us. Hope you enjoy the rest of the class. Peace.